Actually, it's the lead play in our offense.
Tell the tackle to take the defensive end if he's over him. If he's not, you drive down the first man to his inside. Pull back and tell him to take the first man outside the offensive tackle. No one goes. Go right by them and field inside. If the YN has the linebacker taken out, he cuts inside. If the YN has the linebacker in, he comes all the way around. If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access Postgame Show. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on Packernet.com. You can find me on Twitter at Packers_Access. I'm joined alongside Jacob from the Packernet Fantasy Podcast. We got Tim live in Green Bay, and we got Pack Daddy himself, Mr. Ryan Schlip. Fellas, what did y'all think about this?
Let me tell you what really upset me about this game. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
Here he goes.
Oh, man. Yeah, let's do that, Ryan. That's totally cool, man.
Okay.
Yeah. So obviously the Packers come away with a huge victory here as they defeat the Bears 38-20. I believe that was the final score. Jordan Love obviously having a great night, 15-27, 245, 3 touchdowns, no picks, QB rating of 123.2. Now, guys, we've got some receipts piled up. All I want to say to the listeners is please go easy on the Bears fans, all right? Because I was sitting here watching Eberflus on the sideline, guys, and I was just thinking, that's got to suck. That's got to suck. But, Ryan, let's start with you, man. What's your just first impressions of the game, man?
I just – at one point, my son kept asking me, why are you laughing so much? Every time the screen came up and I saw the score, I would just bust out laughing. Like, I can't believe this is real.
Right.
Like, I knew it was a good game. I knew we were winning, but I'd look up and I'd see we're in the 30s. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, it's like 30-10. Like, what? This isn't supposed to happen. So I don't know, man. I couldn't tell you too much about the stats or whatever. I'm sure there's a lot of things that are going to surprise me, but it's just pure joy right now. I was hopeful we'd win. Like I said, we are the better football team, but I never thought something like that would happen.
You know, I really didn't either. It kind of caught me off guard, and I've got to be 100% transparent. At the end of the first half, I didn't like how Jordan looked. I'm like, man, and it's going to take time. It kind of felt like Aaron's first game there. You know, his first year, it was like up and down, right? He made quite a few throws in the first half. But then in the second half, man, coming out and getting Aaron Jones a little more involved, I actually messaged Jacob and Tim and was just like, man, you know, I'm eager to see if anyone accuses Jordan Love of playing hero ball, and that's the reason Aaron Jones isn't getting the ball more. But then, of course, we come out in the second half and start getting him more involved. But Jacob, what's your initial impressions, man?
I guess I just have to temper my I don't want to be a homer, Ryan. I know that you know that I'm a homer, but I mean,
Today's the day.
We saw. You couldn't even let me start talking.
Go ahead, you're good.
Enagbare, number one edge defender. I think that we could probably talk about that. I saw Lucas Van Ness doing some like real stuff in there.
Justin Fields was like, this white boy can run. Well,
he like tried to turn out like I got very humble right away because I was like, I'm texting my brother, I'm texting my father, and it's like, just hold on, we got this game. And they're like, no, we don't. And then all of a sudden, the defense shows up because we're not used to this, guys. We're not used to the Green Bay Packers defense coming up big and just helping. All we need is just to help the quarterback, right? Jordan Love was helped today. Jordan. Man, I don't even know how to get into this, dude.
I feel the same way. I should just go. I don't know how to talk.
Right. Just go.
Hey, this is why I asked initial impressions, because I love it, man.
No, seriously, I need Ryan to go. I've been up since like 4 a.m. today because I had to do all this. I just need to hear Ryan's rant first, right now.
Can we get that exclusively right now,
Ryan? I just need to hear it.
Packer exclusive. Here comes his rant.
I'll be honest, man. I'm so filled with joy. It's hard for me to turn that into like, you sons of you ran your mouth. I'm sure that'll happen, but kind of like Clayton said, I have no desire right now to start swinging. I'm sure maybe when I see some of these takes and hear some of the comments and relive it, like, you know what? No, you're going to get hit. But right now, I'm just, I know. And here's the thing, like they're in so much pain right now.
It's bad, man.
I mean, dude, I was in pain at certain points in this game, just thinking like this feels like it's getting out of hand. Like, I don't know, just thinking like how bad this is about to be. And this meant 10 times more to them than it does to us.
Oh yeah.
So not that many of them deserve sympathy the way that they acted this offseason, but their punishment is going to be this entire week when they have to wake up and realize that wasn't a dream.
Yeah, definitely. And when you talk about defense, Darnell Savage showed up, 10 tackles, led the team, had one for a loss, looked schematically sound most of the day. Keyshawn Nixon got burnt once, but still he was very effective in the run game with 8 tackles, had another tackle for a loss there. You had in the sack column, Devontae White, 1.5 sacks,
yes,
2
sir.
tackles for a loss, 2 QB hits. Lucas Van Ness, 1 sack, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 QB hit. You had Kenny Clark with a half sack. Kenny running down that screen pass. I've got to get the clip for that because that's going on Chalk Talk.
And a forced fumble, apparently, according to PFF.
And then Carl Brooks, the rookie, gets a little mop-up time, gets him a sack on a TT stunt. Might have been an ET stunt. I think it was an ET stunt. Also had a quarterback hit. And just across the board, Tim, this is right down your alley. Of course, our boy Quay Walker with the pick 6, man. What's your initial impressions, dude?
Man, like I said, the defense did its job. You know, when your offense kind of struggles a little bit or doesn't really have a rhythm, you know, your defense can keep you in these games. You know, and at halftime, you're right, 10-6, man, that was close. You know, kind of like what we talked about last night. It might be closer of a game than we all expected, but I'm with Ryan. It's like I'm just smitten right now. I can't believe we just did what we did, especially in the second half. But yeah, to see Quay make that big play, I hope he's all right. You know, I don't know if it's head or neck or something at the end of that play. I guess we'll see in the days to come. But so good to see him, you know, doing exactly what he was supposed to do. I love the zip cam footage of that play. When you get behind the line and you can just see him stay home, keep his eyes on the quarterback, play that space. And just like Fields, we can always trust him to do. He threw the ball right to him. So feeling good, guys. Feeling good.
Yeah, we got John Baker with the super chat. Hey, man, appreciate you supporting the channel, buddy. He said defense is real. Van Ness showed up. Love was fine. I think that's fair right there, saying love was fine. And Dobbs is real, man. Dobbs, when you need a tutty, I guess he's gonna be James Jones 2.0, Ryan. I mean, that dude's just gonna catch touchdowns. But another one too. Hopefully he's okay as well. We had a few injuries that happened there late. But Jaden Reed on 3rd down. Did that not look like Randall Cobb on 3rd down?
Right.
Yep.
Go ahead, Ryan. I'm sorry. I meant to call on you there.
Oh, no. Yeah. Well, I just need to go back real quick because you're going through the defensive stats. My favorite sack of the day is the one that didn't count. Rashawn Gary lighting up.
Yes.
Was the best thing I saw in that whole freaking game. But no, man, here's my favorite thing, and I don't know exactly the stats, but I mentioned this prior to the game. One of the things that really impressed me all through preseason and training camp is our red zone efficiency. And in this game, our 3rd down efficiency. Like our ability to convert on 3rd down and in the red zone is just unstoppable. And that makes the difference. You know, I mean, it wasn't like the cleanest game I've ever seen in my life, but all the important times when it mattered, that's when we converted. That's how you get up to nearly 40 points. And by the way, should have kicked a field goal at the end just to get it over 40. I don't know why we didn't. That would have just made it better.
Sweet.
I'm sitting there like, come on, man, just kick it. Get to 40.
All right, we got the phones backing up here. Let's go to the first call. We've got Carly Ray on the line. And guys and gals, Carly, we're going to have to go rapid fire because the lines are already backing up. We got a full house. We got the Mexican lawyer in the house. So we got to get going. Carly, Carly Ray, what did you think of the game?
Oh, man, I was screaming. My kids were like, Mom, what's wrong? They're like, we heard you outside. But like, oh, man.
I'm right there with you.
Quay Walker got that pick six, I was like, yeah, buddy, you have just turned it all around. And it was just, overall, I was absolutely thrilled. It was awesome.
Like I said, we got to go rapid fire. Maybe what was, other than the Quay Walker pick six, what's one thing that stood out to you? Or if you got a question, whatever you want to hit on, maybe one thing that kind of stood out to you from the game.
I was so glad to see Carlson and getting his kicks and point after attempts. And I think it was the third one, though. I think there was a little delay on my streaming because by the third one, I'm like, oh gosh, he hasn't missed any. Maybe it's going to be this one that he misses. And then an alert popped up on my fantasy thing that, he made the point after attempt before I even saw it happen. So then I was like, oh, all right, well then he made it. It's fine.
That one was a screwball, though.
That was so weird.
It was like it went wide and it came back in dead center.
Yes, he did. It was weird.
He missed it left and then almost missed it right. I've never seen that.
That one, I was real nervous.
The old screwball.
Well, Carly, we appreciate you calling in. It's so good to hear from you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys.
All right, take care. That was Carly Ray. All right, let's go to Emilio in Tennessee. Emilio, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are we? What's happening?
Hey, man, we're just sitting here basking in the glory of beating the worst team in the league from last year. Anyway, what was maybe your takeaway? If you got a question or your big moment of the game, what'd you think?
Well, I was kind of behind enemy lines most of the day, sort of just kind of digging into their live stream, and they were going off. They just started deteriorating very, very quickly.
It was wait to go on Bear streams.
But I love that Quay was wearing the dot. One,
yeah, I noticed that.
And then two, I loved the stunts that D was running up front. But it was honestly great seeing how much they just crumbled immediately. Like they just fell in on each other. It was a house of cards they were built on.
Yeah, definitely, man. And you referring to, I'm sure, one of those stunts was, I think it was an ET stunt that got Carl Brooks his first sack, man. That was just freaking awesome to see him getting in there and getting a little mop-up time for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Anything else stand out to you before we let you go, bub?
We needed it. We got it. I can't wait.
Hey,
sorry, my bad. My business partner did get me tickets to the Atlanta Packers game, so we are
okay.
That one. So I'll be wearing a cheesehead sombrero if you see me on TV.
My man. Hey, they say Mercedes-Benz Stadium is absolutely awesome. I've got a couple buddies that's been down there. I thought about getting tickets to it, but it's going to screw with the post-game show so much. Can't make it work. But enjoy that, dude. You got to send us pictures of that, bro.
For sure.
All right, man. Appreciate you, Emilio. Have a good night, buddy.
Let's have a good one.
All right, see you. That was Emilio in Tennessee. All right, let's go to Dakota in Tennessee. Dakota, buddy, I'm telling you, you got the best profile picture on here. I'm telling you.
Hey, I know. I enjoy
it. What'd you think of the game, man?
Man, I like this game so much. I can't even be mad. I got a vandalism report I got to put in tonight, and I'm not even mad about that.
I got vandalized. It was awesome.
The Bears just got vandalized.
Absolutely. But real quick though, because I don't want to keep you too long, but there's really a couple things. First, the quickest thing, that play, the last play that I believe the Bears got a false start on, I saw, no, dear Lord, not Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt. He busts through into the backfield. He about makes a tackle. They blow the whistle before he can. He throws his hands up in the air in frustration because he was so excited to make that tackle. I loved it.
Yeah.
But that was really cool. And then last thing, sorry. So I know with Rodgers, especially in the last few years, we did very well in the second quarter. But after the first half, we just weren't any count. It seemed like we stalled on offense a lot. This was the exact opposite. I mean, we hit the gas in the second half, and I was really excited to see that.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, man. They started hot, then kind of went stale there for a minute, and then just poured it on at the end, dude. No doubt.
So, were you just describing the amount of touches the Green Bay Packers were giving Aaron Jones?
Pretty much.
Well, they gave him touches, and then they didn't, and then in the second half they gave him again, and then we got a bunch of points.
My goodness, it works, right?
Ryan, can I ask you, if I ever have to hear Matt LaFleur say, you know what we should probably do?
Oh, my good Lord.
Oh, my God. We should probably run the balls with Aaron Jones. That sounds like a good idea. Yeah, dude, do it. 100 freaking how many yards? Run the freaking ball, dude. Go.
Exactly. Dakota, we appreciate you, buddy. It's good to hear from you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me on.
Yeah, get that report in, bub.
Absolutely.
I think I texted Ryan like right after that first drive. I'm like, it was like Pam Oliver out there, like, so are you gonna give Aaron Jones more carries? And he's like, say less.
Say no more, fam.
I feel like I was looking at him like, that's a good idea. And then we all are like, run him. Run
And then
him.
it's like the two quickest drives to get touchdowns ever was like, oh my, that's rough for you, Bears. Jeez. What if we did that the whole time? That would have been embarrassing.
Right.
Josh Martin here with the super chat. Appreciate you supporting the stream, buddy. He said LaFleur got to stop the conservative play calling. I thought they were a little too aggressive in the second half, personally. Like, there was a couple of times I'm like, all right, let's just calm down. I mean, when Jordan, first of all, and thank you for the super chat, Josh, we appreciate it. Ryan, what did you think of Jordan Love throwing that off his back foot? And I'm going, what are you? And then I see there's no one in the zip code around there. Musgrave looked like me coming down these steps after about 3 Oktoberfests too. He was stumbling around.
Well, I'm just glad that we're building a repertoire. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has so many highlight reels that you can pull up. I mean, there's people on Twitter, their entire career on Twitter is just pulling up random Rodgers highlights, and they'll never do one twice.
Right.
It's nice that we're building a repertoire for Jordan Love and him fumbling a snap, picking it up, rolling to his right, throwing off his back foot for what should have been Luke Musgrave's second touchdown of the day. But unfortunately, he went 0 for 2. But I mean, that is just a highlight all day. And especially, I mean, this is going to be a game where we're going to remember for a very long time. I mean, do you remember Jordan Love's first start when he lit up the Bears and everybody thought we were going to be terrible and all that? And then that highlight and everything. Oh my goodness! I mean, this is one of the all-time greats, man.
I can't remember who the guy was. It was the guy who we always made fun of him because he looked like he was running like a brand new baby deer, like Bambi.
What are we talking about here?
You know what I'm talking about? There was like a tight end or a wide receiver we had. Whenever he ran, he looked like he was just like galloping. Like it was like, there's no way this is happening. Anyway, I nominate Musgrave for. Exactly. I nominate Musgrave for the Bambi Award.
Musgrave
he looks like a brand new
clumsy out there. Yeah,
he's just stumbling around. Like, what are you doing, bud?
Yeah,
123% Caucasian. You can tell for sure. No doubt about it. We got Jeff in the chat with the super chat. Hey, buddy, we appreciate you supporting the stream here, man. He said, "How great is this? Crickets chirping in Chicago. Really impressed with the pass pro today to give Jordan time." Of course, the Bears have no pass rushers. Very good point. But I'll tell you, there's a couple of times I'm like, get rid of the ball. And then I'm like, why get rid of it? There ain't nobody near him. Just standing. But, yeah, it's a very good point, Jeff, for sure, man. What did you think, Tim? Ask you real quick, man. What did you think about the pass protection today, man? And thank you, Jeff, for the super chat. We appreciate it, bro.
I think he looked good. I mean, I hope he doesn't get used to having that much time because we're not going to play the Bears every single week. there will actually be a pass rush at some point. But, and I think, he got it done with his legs too when we needed him to today, which was always good to see. He doesn't get happy feet. If anything, yeah, maybe he stood in there a little too long on a couple of them. But, when you have no pass rush and you've got a pocket, you might want to try and get to that third, fourth, progression or your read progression. So, I think all in all, you couldn't ask for better pockets for him today for the most part. He was definitely not under duress.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man.
I got a fun question. What's the over under on the amount of pressures we had today?
As he drinks.
I don't know, man.
I really don't know. It had to be it felt like at the very least that pocket was just crushing Fields on just about every pass.
Every time he did anything more than a 3-step drop, he was running for his damn life.
Kudos to him, by the way, for escape. There should have been 8 sacks in this game. He really was impressive, his ability to escape. I was so mad so many times.
And Jair, I mean, it says a lot about, like, I wasn't mad at Jair about missing that sack. I mean, I was like, come on. But at the same time, you're like, he doesn't miss that.
Yeah. So looking at ESPN stats, we had 4 sacks and 6 quarterback hits. So there you go with that. I don't know, probably more than that, hurries and rushes, But John Baker, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, Ryan, give me some laughing at the enemy this week, please. Thank you.
Dude,
what's laughing at the enemy going to be like this week, Ryan?
The only question I have, and I was thinking about putting a Twitter poll out, how many days do we do laughing at the enemy? Should it just be all week until like Saturday when we prep for the next game, or what? Because that's what I want to do.
I was sitting here, I'm trying to already get organized for Chalk Talk, and I'm like, man, it's going to be hard, Jacob. It's going to be hard picking a play, dude.
No kidding.
We could do an episode of 10 if we wanted to. And
do you know what one I want to see, Clayton? Like if I got to vote, Kenny Clark's sniff out of that screen pass.
See, that's what I said when we first got on.
That was so dirty, dude.
That was good.
When we turned Blake, I went, what the hell's Kenny doing? And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, he sees something I don't see.
Oh, no, it was the whole team. The whole team turned.
The team were like, oh, okay, all right, you want to try this? All
Kenny got there with a vengeance, dude.
And I was going to say the best part of that was that he finished it, too.
He's the guy. He catches him from behind.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because the guy's behind his wall of defenders, and Kenny Clark smokes him.
How many bodies did we break in this game? How many? I mean, there were so many hard hits. I mean, Darnell Mooney is probably never going to walk again after that last hit in the game.
Man, well, and that was our special teamer, right? Like, so that guy runs downhill.
Yeah, no doubt. Jacob, what? And again, John, thank you so much for the super chat, bud. We appreciate it. Jacob, what was like your favorite play of the day, man? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Carl Brooks get a sack, guys. Carl Brooks got a sack. He did it. And Devontae Wyatt.
Oh, that was probably my.
He did all the things. He did all the things that Ryan.
And he didn't just get that one. No. Like he was.
Ryan, come on, mea culpa. Let's go.
What are we doing?
You got to give a love to Devontae Wyatt right now. You said you needed to see him.
Yeah. No, 100%. No, I mean,
like twice.
No, well, the fear was he was great all training camp, but when the games came around, he was a ghost. So it's like I want to believe it. I want to believe that this is real and that he's a monster. It's just it scares me that when the games are happening, I haven't seen it. But yeah, good enough for me.
Coming into this game, I was like, he disappeared in the preseason, and then seeing him play now I'm coming like this.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
I haven't seen a large, extremely fast, long-haired, blonde white man dive through the air with his arms out wide like that since Nick Folk got knocked out by Clay Matthews. You guys know what I'm talking about. When he came up behind him and it's just slow-mo and he's like, ah! Luis Van Ness looks fast, man. He's fast.
Surprising speed. Considering nobody else could catch him, the one guy that could was Lucas Van Ness. Surprises me.
Yeah, you get that.
All right, we got us a super chat here. Godsmack says, shout out to Savage for finally doing his name justice.
He
and
did.
Van Ness for his first career sack.
Yeah.
Complimentary football is here to stay in Green Bay, man. You've seen it all day long, man. They got pressure on the Bears. Ryan, you said it all off season, dude. And I know Tim's talked about it too. Ryan, you came from the angle of, everybody's excited. The Bears line still sucks.
Yeah.
And hearing Tim talk, going to practice every day in camp and talking about this D line working together and staying after it. He was talking about how Kenny, everybody would go in after practice and Kenny would still have the defensive front out there. Am I wrong, Tim? Didn't you say he still had the defensive lineman out there working after practice?
Yep. Like every single time. So like clearly the work is paying off and we're seeing it already.
I mean, their cohesion looked wild. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Did you see them doing like real interesting, like want to go up and be like, yo, you're going over that way, and they'd go and they'd like he'd stand up and start walking, and then they'd like one would deke under the right and come back like pre-snap, and I'm like, what are you guys doing?
There's a lot of movement on that D line, just back and forth. Yeah.
And Kenny, Kenny called his shot, didn't he, Jacob?
I was gonna say to that point, Darnell Savage had 10 freaking.
He led the team,
dude. He looked
solo. He had a tackle.
He looked wild tonight.
And I would say even more impressive than that is that Keyshawn Nixon had
looked good in the running game. He did
7 solo. He had a pass breakup, and we've all been kind of questionable about like what he can do in the slot. Homie looked like a dog, dude. He was the Dog.
I'm gonna be a party pooper on Keyshawn Nixon. I'm just telling you that right now. He pissed me off the whole game. The whole
good,
game.
Bro. I guarantee you his PFF grade is gonna be great. I guarantee you.
All right.
That deep pass, though. Think of the touchdown he gave up. I'm thinking that was on him. Although they were once again two defensive backs looking at each other, going, "I don't know, is it you? Is it me?" So I don't know who was exactly at fault, but
probably like a 55 or something like that.
Who is the one that all the Bears fans were real mad about? Like the tight end got mauled in the end zone, and then he like turns around at the last second and punches it. Was that Keyshawn?
Komet or no? Oh, you're talking about the defense.
I don't know.
Whoever the defender was, like they were like pass interference.
That was Nixon,
yeah. I thought that was Nixon.
Again, Godsmack, thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. We appreciate it. We got Joe RX with the super chat. Thanks, man, for supporting the channel here. He said, "Are we still tempering expectations?" Ryan, are we tempering expectations? What's the plan here going forward, guys?
I mean, we got to acknowledge that it's the Bears. However, first of all, I thought the Bears, all things considered, kind of played decent. I mean, they weren't making. I mean, yeah, toward the end, things started to unravel a little bit, but we were the ones kind of making more mistakes with the penalties and stupid stuff. And I do think that they are going to end up being a better team than they were last year. So with that said, it's still a bad team. But where do you go from here? You started week 1. Look at all the other games.
Right.
And nobody could score more than 7 points. Everybody's offense is trash. We're still figuring stuff out. I mean, in this game, you could feel the team figuring stuff out. So why would we go anywhere else other than why can't we go to the playoffs?
We don't have a wide receiver. We don't have a wide receiver.
By far, yeah. And that's and I think that was a huge that hurt us a lot. You could feel the Bears compressing, and we were really trying to play, and it wasn't working. You get Watson in there to stretch the field, that changes everything. But aside from that, there is nobody in the NFC North that was close to the Packers. I thought all 3 other NFC North teams played like garbage, including the Lions. The Packers were far and away. To be honest, they were probably the best team that played this week. But why would you not say that we have a chance to get into the playoffs, considering we dominate the NFC North right now?
I'm going to tell you right now, and again, Joe RX, thank you so much for the super chat, bud. Adam Shine's going to be on the back of a milk box tomorrow. Ain't nobody going to be able to find that cat. We got Elevated Shine in the chat, a.k.a. Prison Matt, said, I'm going to need a cold shower after this.
That's awesome.
Hey, that's just the way we talk in the clink.
That's great.
Thanks for the super chat, Elevated. We appreciate it.
Prison LaFleur.
Dude,
Garrett, that's a good point. I actually am drunk on barbecue sauce.
All right, let's go to the phones. We're drunk on barbecue sauce.
I consumed a lot of it.
We got Mike Hebring here live on the line. Mike, how you doing, buddy? Is that a good enough win for you?
I'm good, guys. How are you guys?
We're good, man. What'd you think of the game, bub?
Oh, fantastic. I want to just jump in here and just say, don't forget about special teams today. Usually the Bears are pretty tough with their teams. I'm just want to give you guys some stats from today's game. Keyshawn Nixon, 2 returns for 55 yards.
Ooh.
Dang.
Wow.
I didn't even notice that.
Jaden Reed, 3 punt returns for 54 yards, 18-yard average. Andres Carlson, perfect, 5 for 5 on extra points, plus a long field goal right before the half.
52.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Whelan,
right down
5
the
punts,
middle.
52 good for 90.
Yeah. Don't forget about Daniel Whelan, 5 punts, 49.8 average, a 68 long.
Now, don't take away the fact that there was a high snap behind his head that he got down on the 52-yard field goal, by the way.
I don't want to just skim past that. You said 68 was the long.
68 was the long.
Okay.
Oh, the one that he drilled 1,000 yards? That was crazy.
That
exactly.
was.
They should have downed at least 2 more of those in between the 20. If they had a better gunner, they would have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Daniel Whelan's the guy. He's a guy.
Wow.
He is and I was as hesitant as anyone. I'm thinking Holden, what are we going to do about Holden? Did you see, that was the other thing, the 52-yarder, hopefully you didn't mention it just now, Mike. I have a tendency to read the chat and then say the same exact thing someone just said. But on the 52-yarder, did you notice the high snap and how Daniel Whelan him? I mean, I was just like, holy cow, dude, we got a holder. Look at this. Yeah. And what's beautiful is minimum contract, right? It's going to be 2 or 3 years before you even have to think about paying someone. And granted, it's just one game, but I'm with you, Mike. Special teams was a was a beaut tonight, dude. Anything else you got before we let you go, Mike?
No, I'm just euphoric. How well this team played without Aaron Rodgers. I'm just euphoric about it.
Yeah. Definitely. We appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, have fun.
Yeah, take care, Mike.
Thanks,
that was
Mike.
Mike, the super fan. We should have got a couple of predictions from him, fellas, because I'll tell you what, he usually knocks them out of the freaking park for sure. But all right, let's see here in the chat. What else do we got?
I'm here with 2-0 for this. Love's recovery on the fumbled handoff. I mean, it was also. I'm with United Bates. Razul is a dog. Razul went hard today.
Yep.
Yeah, he did for sure. I mean, everything across the board, really. I was kind of combing through back through the stats. You know, like I said, Jaden Reed on third downs, that looked huge to me. It was just like when we needed a third down play, Love looked for him. Of course, you had him on those crossers. The
wide open too. He looked like it was just he's just out there by himself. Like, okay, thanks.
Yeah. Absolutely.
By the way, can I just ask him? Maybe I'm lost here. Did DJ Moore play? Because I was told he's really good and he's going to cook Jair and all that stuff, but he must not have played.
Football, Ryan.
Yeah, the yak monster who gets like 900 yards on screen passes and stuff. He didn't play, right? He was out or something. He had a flu thing.
I seen a comment in here. I'm trying to find it. Somebody
I think Aaron Jones stole his spirit.
Okay, that's what it was.
with the yak catch.
Yeah. I'll tell you what's not missing up there in Wisconsin. That's great barbecue, which I want to give a shout out to our sponsor here of the pod of Packernet Podcast. And that's our good folks over at Old Southern Barbecue. They got 5 locations in Rice Lake, Hudson, Arden Hills, Minneapolis, and Shakopee. Guys, if you don't want to cook, first of all, you can go eat in over there, but also they do catering. So if you're throwing together a Packer party, something like that, they can cater it in. They've got ribs, they got brisket, all that good stuff, all kinds of sides. That way you ain't got to do a thing. Just have them take care of the work for you. But also if you're like me and you're at a distance, you can check out their website, oldsouthernbarbecue.com. Now, listen, they're not going to mail you a fresh cut of ribs, all right? Don't be looking for that. But they will provide 4 different sauces. They've got their own rib rubs, all that good stuff. Phenomenal sauces here. Like I was saying last night, got 4 different flavors. 2 of my favorites are Southern Gal's Sweet Brown Sugar, and then, of course, Chicago Fire is probably my favorite. I like stuff a little spicy. I like to feel it the next day, if you know what I'm saying. But we appreciate Old Southern Barbecue for sponsoring the show, and for our Packernet listeners, if you go make a purchase on their website, make sure you use the promo code PACKERNET15. That's capital P, Packer, no space, capital N for net, and then 15. That'll get you 15% off of your purchase. We appreciate them. So make sure you check them out. Old Southern Barbecue. That's oldsouthernbbq.com. Let's see here.
I like to think with spicy things, it won't affect me this time.
Exactly. Let's see. I think we got us another super chat. Here we go. We've got Joey RX with the super chat. Appreciate you supporting the stream, buddy. He said, what strategic plays or player performances do you think had the most significant impact on the outcome? And how might these factors influence the team's strategies moving forward in the season? Man, I'll tell you, that's a deep, deep question. Yeah. I usually don't like to talk about this stuff until I go back and watch the all 22. But since you brung it up, I will point this play out real quick. I'm going to add this. You guys confirm you can see this real quick. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to drop that down for just a second, Joe. We appreciate the super chat. This is the Aaron Jones touchdown catch, right? And where he came out of the backfield. They came out in an 11-gun strong right trips. It's called 94 drag Y cross T angle. Okay, basically what that means, 1 running back, 1 tight end. We're in the gun. The T is weak. You can see the Y is slightly flexed. That was Luke Musgrave. They worked those crossers all day with Luke Musgrave. Yep. So essentially what the 94 drag means is the far left route is let me pull up on the telestrator here real quick. The far left route over here, that's your X receiver, right? That's going to be a 9 route, okay? You work yourself from left to right, excluding the Y, okay? So you've got a 9, you've got a 4 route out of the slot, you've got your drag coming out of the Z, and then you got the Y cross, and then, of course, the T angle, right, is the big aspect of this play. And what's so cool is they loaded the box. They knew we were running the rock. They knew we were trying to pound the run. So they loaded the box up. They've got this DB is kind of over here trying to help set the edge on the strong side of the formation. And of course, you've got this guy out wide. They were protecting for the flat is what they're looking for, right? That's basically what they were looking to do. So as soon as the ball was snapped, and I'm not going to show you guys motion here, as soon as the ball was snapped, the thing that made this play go was the Z coming across on the shallow cross. This backer immediately recognized it and bit down to take that away. So he played kind of that shallow zone. So that left this guy out here. He didn't know whether to crap or go blind. So he closed one eye and farted. And I'm telling you right now, dude, we seen Aaron Jones came out and you could see really jabbed outside, got this guy to commit out, and then it was off to the races. Jordan did an excellent job focusing here. So I think he was working this number one read, then knew as soon as he seen this backer bite down, he knew that Aaron Jones had that inside leverage and took it to the house, man. I'm telling you, when he caught it, I thought big game. Immediately I thought big game. Yeah. But then I'm telling you, when he turned it on in the secondary, I was like, oh, that's right. They just had a single high safety. He is off to the races.
Man, I was following until I realized, like, I play Xbox and you must play, like, PlayStation. So that's my bad. That's on me.
Hey, I recently converted over to PC. The plan was I've got to get a new PC for the pod, okay? All right, here's the budget, $500, right?
No.
Somebody just no. They understand. So somebody.
That's how much your power supply and hard drives cost, or what?
Say, Clayton, you're so funny, man. You're spending at least $800. I'm like, okay. $1,600 later, and then it's like, well, I go to Best Buy. I'm like, I need a monitor, gang. I need some kind of cheap monitor. And he's like, okay, well, what kind of computer do you got? He's thinking, and I explained the computer, the PC, and he went, oh no, you're wasting that PC if you get that. $1,200 on a monitor. Right.
Oh my God.
I'm like $3,000 into this thing. So yeah. Anyway, that's what
you're not wrong though. You're not wrong.
I guess. Well, tell my wife that she's down there mad on the couch. Right?
I got her. I got you.
Anyway, Joe RX, super chat, buddy.
I think we're on a John Baker.
Go ahead, Jacob. What'd you say?
No, I told you every single night. I was like, I'll bet that number's gonna climb a little higher tomorrow. And you're like, no, man, no. And they're like, all right, I got a specialist in. And this one's real good. This one's real good. And this thing, he's got my hard drive under control. And
I mean, John Baker, if you ignore the end of the second half, I'd say yes.
Yeah, John Baker in the chat says, is Matt LaFleur good? This looked like a great managed game by the head coach. I always thought he was. I thought he called a great game. And the one thing that I will say, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the last super chat we had there from Joe RX, I didn't see a whole lot of RPOs. Did you guys? Ryan, do you remember seeing a whole lot of RPO? Because I don't.
No. The only thing I would say is I feel like early on they tried to get real creative, and it was not working, and I was really getting tired of that. You know, and they kept trying to work stuff in the flats and exactly, the read option stuff. And it's like, guys, when we run Aaron Jones up the middle, we're getting 9 yards. When we do all this stupid, like look, maybe week 17 we got all the kinks ironed out, but you're pitching out to a guy and your lead blocker's 4 yards behind. Like, we don't know what we're doing here. So let's try to keep it simple.
Definitely. All right, we got United Bates with the super chat. Appreciate you, man. He said, I said yesterday I was excited to watch Quay. I was running around my house like a madman on that pick six. Hope he is all good, though.
I literally took a lap. I was taking laps on that pick six.
Tim, you're the president of the Quay Walker fan club here on the show,
Timmy.
Man. Have you heard anything else on the injury? If not, I'll dig through it. And how do you feel about Quay, man? I think I asked you earlier, but since United Bates brought it back up, man, what stood out to you?
Well, man, that's obviously my pick for play of the game. But and we talked about it a little bit earlier. Like, man, the way he makes the pick. Now, remind you, we're talking about a linebacker here, not a corner. And then he looks up field to return, and then basically pinballs like two Chicago Bears that are trying to tackle him, and then just decides, you know what, I think I'm just going to change fields and turn up the other way to go to the other pylon for the score, which was just incredible. Like, watching that play actually play out, you're thinking like, oh, he's going to get tackled at midfield or whatever, and then you just, oh my God, it's a pick six. Like, how did this happen? And so yeah, I'm excited for Quay. To me, I haven't heard anything. I'm kind of like refreshing here. But I don't know what's going on. They said head injury at the end of the play. To me, it looked like a neck, like he had whiplash or some kind of, like his head turned funny at the very, very last moments of that play as he brought it into the end zone. So hopefully he's okay. Hopefully it's not serious or concussion protocol or neck injury or whatever.
It looks like head snapping forward is really because he got hit like in the upper shoulder area and his head just snapped down real hard.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's all right. Again, you don't want to see anybody get a concussion, especially with all the latest on the studies. But at the same time, usually a concussion, you're looking at a week or two, right? As soon as I said, okay, I think it's a concussion, I'm not that concerned about it. Tim said, well, I think it might be Nick. And I immediately thought of Nick Collins. Immediately, I was like, oh God, you think the worst when it comes to that stuff for sure.
Well, the fact that he wasn't boarded out of there and he walked off under his own.
Yeah,
tells me that's a super good sign. So hopefully he's doing good.
Definitely. Josh Martin, thank you for the super chat. He said we got to work on our drops. I believe we had 5 drops. Love easily would have had over 300 yards with those catches. Yep. Got to get those mental mistakes out. Now, I will say the Jaden Reed one, I immediately thought it was a drop. Jacob, you know what I'm talking about? But I think it was officially a pass breakup. Now, I will say in my notes, and I'm very critical of Love. Like I'm trying not to be a homer with Jordan Love, and like Ryan has talked about in the past, take the gloves off a little bit. Look, he's a starting quarterback. He's a 4th-year pro. He should be good, right? If he's the starter. But in my notes when I seen it, it felt like the ball came out late. But what'd you think of the drops today, Jacob?
Man, to be honest, I want to be 100% on the Love train, and God, I hate to reach into my inner Ryan, but I have to agree that I am a little bit just like I'm not excited with what I saw. I will say that I liked a little bit of like what he did. Jordan Love seems to like he seems to catch fire a little bit later into the game, right? He seems like first couple throws are just a little bit off topic. It seems like it's Brett Favre when he's like, I'm a little tuned up. How about no more rocket balls, right? And he seems like he's not quite rocket balls.
You think God never farted?
Go ahead, Jacob. We're live here, man. What are you doing?
And it just seems like that he needs a couple throws, get his weight under him, and start looking about what he's doing. But man, I just have a weird. The whole game, I watch this, and I sit there and I'll never go live because I'll never make it. It'll never be monetized. Whatever the heck we're doing will never be monetized. I will cuss and swear. It's like if me and Blake were on a live stream. Imagine that. It isn't going to go well.
Only Blake.
Ryan, with Jacob, we keep getting limited ads on YouTube. It says ad suitability flags, right? Mm-hmm. And we're not even cussing. But Jacob somehow finds a way to say something that sounds like a cuss. Like the other day, he said, frick. I said, I'm going to say it the proper way. Fricking, okay? But he went, I'll tell you, fricking. I went, oh, did he just, and listen back, he didn't. But YouTube was like, no. So,
and I hate all those bunts.
He's done so good. What did you just say?
Bunt. You never had a bunt cake?
And
I hate
money
bunt
today.
cakes.
No money today.
There goes the money.
Here I come. Oh, here.
There goes the ad income, boys. All right, we're at the 43-minute mark. Ryan, what do you want to hit on, Bob? What do you want to hit on? We can go through the box score more. We can do anything, but
well, I've been trying to kick over to Twitter because I'm sure it's going crazy. They've got interviews and everything else going on. I obviously can't listen to it, but I want to read this thing from Ryan Wood. It just says, I asked Aaron Jones what kind of a statement that made to the Bears. He looked at me, smiled, and said, nothing changed. We're still the Packers.
Absolutely perfect. Speaking of nothing.
Was he wearing his sunglasses when he said it? It'd be so much cooler.
Let me read one more. Justin Fields says, this one hurts not only because it's the first game of the season, because it's a loss to them.
So
there's
T.
both sides of the spectrum.
Capital T, them.
Those people. What do you mean by those people, man?
Shut up, Joe.
Roadhouse.
All right, we've got Andy still stuck in Kansas. Andy talked to this thing is off the rails. We thought we would get on here and be professional. It is not working out.
My wife's gonna be yelling at me so soon. I said I'll be back in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Andy, you there, buddy?
He said, if y'all want to shut up and let me talk. Go ahead.
It's your guys' show, so I'll just, But, okay. Yeah, so, when the opposing team feels it, especially when it's the Bears, the much-hyped Bears, and they're feeling it after one game, they felt it after halftime. You know, the big question marks, where's Aaron Jones at halftime? If you want to know the answer to that question, well, let's just get the second half started, and we did exactly that. The energy was fantastic. As far as some of the stats goes, I think we were 3 for 3 in the red zone. Once again, I'll call that a carryover from the preseason. We were very good in the 3 preseason games. What were we, 3rd and 4th down conversions before Clifford got in? I think we were like 10 for 15, and they were 1 for 11. I mean, the disparity in those two things, the disparity, the +2 turnover disparity, like those two things can very much explain why the final score was as far apart, as it was. This was not even as close as it looked.
No, it did. You could see there was one shot of Justin Fields on the sideline, and he was just like,
yeah.
It was
that in the third quarter? Because I remember that, where he just goes.
Here we are again.
I also loved it when they showed Jordan Love's mom at the end of the game with all the empty seats around her.
Yeah.
Nobody around.
Woman, a freaking ticket? What the is that?
I don't understand.
Yeah.
There's got to be a
so
reason
weird.
she does that. Maybe it's.
What is that?
I don't understand it. I'm like, how in the world can you not get the starting quarterback's mom a box seat? That makes
you guys want to hear something messed up? You know how she got her tickets?
How?
Justin Fields.
From Justin Fields.
From Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So she would have had even worse seats had Jordan not just ponied up the change for his mom's ticket.
If she would have been sitting any closer, she would have gotten Justin Fields' mouth guard right in her lap from some of the hits they were getting.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm making Murphy's top 5 this week because I'm gonna write him a letter. I'm gonna write him an email tonight, and this is all I'm gonna put in the email: the fact that they can't get their starting quarterback, his mom, a freaking ticket to the game. This is what I'm leaving in the email.
Stay off.
That's what I just want. We got to write Murphy, ask him how many shares do we have to buy to make sure the moms make it to the games.
Mom's lives matter.
So I just want you to know that I don't know how to describe it, but there's a video of Jordan Love about to do an interview, and Rashawn Gary is standing there screaming, just hyping him up. I can't exactly hear what he's saying. I'm telling, dude, I can't even hear him. I got chills all the way up my body right now. He is freaking out right now.
Gentlemen, which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
Can we bring that up? Is that
Can
possible?
we share it? Yeah, let's share it.
Yeah. I'll
pop that thing up.
let me see if I can.
Yeah, let's see.
Blake, say something funny.
Share screen.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Tim's been a good
geez.
soldier, man. I feel so bad for Tim. He just sits over and doesn't say anything, man. He just.
Can you hear it?
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Oh,
we can't hear it.
oh,
Look at it. Oh,
Hold on.
you can see it. You can see it.
oh.
Well, can you hear it now?
Yeah.
Stop playing with him. Stop playing with him.
Oh, let's go.
Man.
Fired up.
I wouldn't be playing with him.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
But you listen, you talk about this team and the buy-in and this team coming together and rallying together. I've never seen anything like that with Rashawn Gary doing stuff like that and the way that they're coming together right now. I mean, I don't know. I'm feeling real good about this.
Get that man a contract tomorrow, Ryan.
Oh no!
I'm just gonna say, if Rashawn Gary followed me around with that level of intensity, I would do anything. Like I wouldn't be afraid of anybody ever again.
Everybody, you ever see that Damon Wayans stand up about Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
No, don't do this.
Yeah, you can't do it.
For how long?
I bet Rashawn Gary wakes up and eats his breakfast with the same intensity.
My defense is impregnable.
Stop playing with those eggs.
Justin Fields wakes up like this.
On my knee.
Yeah,
Your
I
part
want to
game.
eat your children. I want to eat your children. Who says that to people?
Andy, are you still there? I'm sorry, dude. What else
Yeah,
you
no,
got
this
for
is great.
us? There ain't a damn thing great about this. What do you got for me? Let you go.
It's a bunch of grown men not having.
A bunch of grown men excited about beating the worst team in the
league. Beating the worst.
Go ahead, Andy. Go ahead, Andy. One last thought, buddy. We'll let you go.
Well, you know, as my little nickname here is, I'm stuck in Kansas, not having what's going on right here. I don't have any of this. So, you know, my youngest son and I, you know, quietly sat in the sports bar and ate food and high-fived and stuff. And then, you know, it's basically just us. So this is a great thing. Yeah, I'll tell you a couple things and then get out of here. The intensity of the front seven, pretty much all game long. You know, the beginning, a little bit of, you know, too much cushion in the secondary. That's one criticism. But it's slight because it worked out. Too many penalties, but that's week one, not a big deal. I think that some of the best parts, though, is if this was 2022, we wouldn't have scored in our first drive. I don't know if you saw the graphic there. We scored once all season on our opening drives in all of 2022. And we nailed it right out the gate in 2023. And then we go on a dry spell, a few threes and outs. Okay. You don't think that would have just snowballed into as Ryan has said many times over, in 2022, if it didn't work coming out of the gate, it was like the whole team deflated. We hung in there. You know, we made some ground at the end, nailed the 52-yarder by the guy that everyone's putting a big question mark in, and then came out running with Aaron Jones and just totally put it to bed. I was, you know, after all those wings, I was still hungry for a 40 burger. We didn't get it this time. There's going to be more chances. I really think Jordan Love was, you know, picked up that fumble. He picked it up and just turned and was like, okay, let me find a guy. Finds a guy. Just totally cool. Just absolutely cool under all that, you know, supposed pressure from the Bears. And so just loving it.
Love it, dude. Hey, we appreciate you calling in, man. Yeah, Jordan Love play. He's a natural dude. Like you could tell he's a natural athlete. But I'm with Jacob too. But again, thank you so much, Andy. We
have a good night.
Yeah, you too, man. That's Andy still stuck in Kansas. Yeah, Jacob, I understand what you were saying. Like I wasn't like overly impressed in the first half. It's hard not to be impressed when you look at the score at the end of the game. And I'm trying not to be a negative Nancy about it, right? But at the end of the day, you got the job done. But that bobbled snap, man, he looked just cool under pressure, right? He really did, in my opinion. Josh Martin, thank you for the super chat. He said, Jones said hamstring is good and could have gone if he needed to. Sounds like he escaped a serious injury. Don't you love Josh Martin? He provided a super chat so he could give us information that we're too stupid to figure out ourselves. Thank you so much, Josh. You were awesome, man. We appreciate it. That's good news, right, Ryan? That because I got a little bit worried about that, but you know, I'm not saying that Jones is easily replaceable. I'm not saying that at all. But I was really impressed how they stepped up, and AJ Dillon looked a little bit better there in the second half. Did you agree with that?
Yeah, I thought we might be in trouble because it felt like we didn't have an offense without him. But you know, again, they hung in there and they adapted and they figured out a way to make it work. If Patrick Taylor looked good for whatever we needed him for, AJ Dillon stepped it up a little bit, and then we found a way to get the passing game going with Aaron, with Jaden Reed especially being able to help out. So without Christian Watson, with Jaden Reed being hurt, with Aaron Jones getting hurt, with Quay Walker getting hurt. I thought we did a fantastic job in this game, and it sounds like we did escape a bunch of injuries. I think Aaron Jones and Jaden Reed, it sounds like, are going to be okay. Hopefully Quay pulls through, because if we can come out of this with minimal to no injuries, this is just the absolute perfect.
I mean Jaden Reed's the guy who recovered the onside kick.
All right, yeah. So I suppose he's fine.
Oh, is he really? Okay.
Yeah, so I think he's fine.
Yeah.
They listed him as probable, but with cramps.
Yeah.
So I think what it was a Charlie horse.
Got it. I'll tell you this, Goose in the chat hit the nail on the head. He said, I'm just wishing the Bears a very happy Father's Day. I heard they got to see their daddy today. So that's a nice little comeback with what Jordan Love had to deal with there earlier in the year. Hey, I got an idea, guys. What y'all say we give away an autographed jersey? Y'all good with that?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it. All right, I'm going to share the screen here. We're going to go to the wheel, if I can find it. Where's it at? There it is. Bang. Can you guys see this?
There it is.
All right. Looks kind of ghetto, right? It's free. Don't judge. Here we go. So We've got everybody who is a YouTube member as of midnight last night. And I will say I squeezed a couple more in that joined today. These are YouTube members of the PTA Posse.
Nice.
You all are entered in right here, obviously, to make sure that this is live, right? So obviously there's no funny business going on. We wanted to do it right here live on the air. So are you guys ready to spin it? Jacob, you ready for this, bub?
He said, screw you.
Did he leave? See,
He's left.
Guys, I'm going home.
You try to give what in the world was that? So you try to give something away. You try to be nice.
Oh.
And Jacob's like, all right, I'm done now, dude. I'm out of here. All right, let's do it. Let's spin the wheel. Here we go. This is for the autographed Lucas Van Ness jersey from pristineauctions.com.
You would have told me about this. I would have subscribed to you, man.
Eric just says rigged.
Yeah.
Rigged.
Easy 340.
Hey.
Easy. All right, there you go.
Easy in the house.
So at some point on the stream, I want you to post your email. If you're in here tonight, do that. And we'll go ahead and get your address and mail that jersey to you. Now we're giving away a second place tonight too. Is Jacob back in here yet? There he is. There's my guy. Jacob, stop stealing the neighbor's internet, bro. We know what's going on over there. Okay. Can you hear us, Jacob?
Yeah. Can you hear me here?
Yeah. All right. We just gave away the Lucas Van Ness jersey. All right. So this is for the piece of the game-worn Aaron Rodgers jersey that Jacob is donating. So we're going to spin it one more time. Are you ready for it, Jacob?
I just want to let you guys know my wife has finally called me on the fact that I was going to be back in 15 minutes. You guys,
Get out of here.
You guys have a good one.
All right. See you, man. Here, we'll take care of him real quick.
Roadhouse.
All right. Blaine is gone. Jacob, you ready to do this?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, here we go, man. Let's spin it. This is for the patch of the game-worn Aaron Rodgers jersey.
Yes.
We need some kind of fancy music, don't we? We ain't got it. Let's see what we got here. It's going to
stuff.
be – oh, it's close. Mr. John Baker wins the Aaron Rodgers giveaway. Good stuff. So Iheezy340 gets the autographed Lucas Van Ness jersey. And then, of course, John Baker is going to get the Aaron Rodgers patch off the jersey. So good stuff. Congratulations to those guys. Now, here's the deal, gang. For the YouTube members, we're going to do this again here really, really soon. We've got an autographed John Kuhn jersey that we're going to be giving away. Okay, that's going to be the next one. So, yeah, be prepared for that. Yeah, I appreciate that, United Base. If you could tag those guys, that would be absolutely awesome, man, just to let them know. Just need to get their, like I said, their mailing address. Don't post it in here. Whatever you do, for God's sakes, don't post it in here. It's untelling what will show up on your doorstep. But all right, as we get ready to wrap this big bear up, what else are we going to cover, guys? What else y'all want to hit on? Let's go to Tim. Tim, in your notes, what else stood out to you, bub?
Open field tackles on defense today. We talked about Rasul is a name that comes to mind. Darnell Savage earned his paycheck today. We've only been waiting, 11 years to see that happen. So that was refreshing to see. But as much as Fields was able to kind of be slippery and run around on us at times, I felt like guys were playing well when they were in space. And on special teams too. So the open field one-on-one tackling looked a little bit better to me. That was a takeaway. And Romeo freaking Dobbs, contested catch machine, looks like a veteran receiver. You guys believe that this is his second season? Because I watched him today, man, and he looked good. And the hamstring didn't appear to be super major issue for Romeo. So hopefully he continues to progress and get over that and continue to have good production. But that second fade to the end zone, man, just going up and refusing not to get that ball was just, we've been talking about it for weeks, man. He's really turned out to be more of a physical receiver than I had thought, last year watching him in his rookie season. So yeah, big props to Romeo today.
Definitely. And I'll tell you, someone I'm expecting to have a really, really bad PFF grade is Jair Alexander. I feel like he had a rough day, missed tackles. And, of course, he had the penalty there, the illegal contact penalty. I don't know. I'm just kind of expecting him to have a low grade. Now watch him come out and he'll be elite, of course. But it just seemed like he was a little off today, which when one of your best players can be off and you still win by as much as you did, it says a lot about the team, I think, or the other team in that regard. But R. Showers in the chat says, I wish I could wish Rodgers get crushed 65% and no looking back otherwise.
65%.
65%. That's what. So there it is, the first one of the night. Jacob, anything else you want to hit before we get off here, buddy? Anything else stand out to you?
I mean, no. I'm pleasantly surprised. I thought that this was good. I just didn't, in my wildest dreams, think this was like. Luke Musgrave, 3 catches, 50 yards. Jaden Reed, 2 catches, 48 yards. I mean, like, this is what we thought would happen, but didn't actually think would happen, kind of thing. And I'm just so excited about it. And we looked at guys like Luke Van Ness showed up. Freaking Kingsley showed up. Rashawn Gary. If they wouldn't had I think it was a penalty that stopped like him sacking the quarterback. Like everything that we wanted to happen tonight happened. And I'm not trying to get too excited, but I'm saying that like we have something to put in our holster tonight. You know what I mean? Like we definitely, like, again, Ryan, the ultimate pessimist. Did you have anything? Did you have anything fun tonight, Ryan? What do you think? Come here. Come on. Tell me. Come on.
You're the only person on planet Earth that calls me that. I don't know what your obsession with that
I love
is.
it, but I just because you won't let me love the 7th round draft picks in the UDFA. That's why.
I didn't say you can do it. I just have a different opinion. You love whoever you want. I don't care. Love is love, man. I don't care. Love whoever you want.
All right. Come on.
2023.
That's what she said.
Goose.
Anyway, yeah. So, I don't know, man. For me, and Ryan, we'll go to you next. But for me, the thing that stood out was kind of like what you showed with Rashawn Gary. This team's going to play for love, and he may end up being a middle of the road quarterback, right? That may be the case. If he is, I know this. He's won that locker room over, man. They look like they went out there and played for him today. And Rashawn Gary's reaction, you got Rashawn Gary behind you, the whole team's going to get behind you. And obviously the chemistry he has with Romeo Dobbs, it showed up on those 2 touchdowns. I don't know, man. I think the future's bright. I love the salary cap situation moving forward. But how'd you feel? Final thoughts, anything moving forward? You could talk about the next game coming up, whatever's on your mind, man.
This was far from a flawless game. And we scored 38 points. Like, Jordan Love was not flawless. I mean, he made a good amount of mistakes. The offensive line, I thought the run blocking kind of sucked. You know, there were a lot of mistakes that happened that can be cleaned up. On top of, again, I think Christian Watson coming back and just the guys in general learning to work together. We got a lot of young guys. This was Carl Brooks' first game ever. This is Jaden Reed's first game ever. So there is a lot of room to grow, and they came out week 1 and hung 38 points up. I don't care if it's the worst. I don't care. I don't care if it's a 32nd ranked defense. Hanging up 38 points week 1 on anybody is a massive achievement. So there is a lot of room for optimism. To sit here and say there's a lot to nitpick and there's a lot to grow, okay, great. I can't wait to see what that looks like.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Tim, anything else, buddy? 1 or 2 more comments here. I'm going to try to respond to John Baker. Just hold the fort down for me for a second. What else you got?
Just to Ryan's point, you know, it does. It feels great, right? And we come out with the dub after it's all said and done, which is the most important statistic today. And I'm excited too. I will say this, Lombardi School of Thought. Let's act like we've been here before, because we have. We own the Bears. There's been no transfer of ownership. The ownership has been renewed, and it will be for eternity. I did hear that D-Bach made sure he let some of the Bears fans in the front row know that they were still owned by the Packers. So it's business as usual at 1265. So let's be excited because we started strong. This is how you want to start your season. And it's time to get ready for the Falcons. So go Pack, go.
Jake.
Love it.
Come on, Jake. Don't do that. Don't do
Jake
that,
in the comments. No, do it. Do it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
What happened? What happened?
He says when Chris Jenkins and Cooper DeJean join this defense, talking about the draft.
Oh, gotcha. Lord,
he's a year ahead. He's the year ahead of us.
Yeah. All right. So John Baker, I just sent you the email in the chat. Email me at PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com. Someone let iHeezy340 know that as well. If you're listening to the pod, watching the show later on, just email me, packerstotalaccess@gmail.com. We'll get your address and get that stuff shipped to you. So with that being said, I think we're done here. I think we've laughed enough. This was a fun one, guys. This is what it's all about right here. We were doing a post-game show regardless, win or lose. And I didn't know how this game was going to go, but I'll tell you, the way they rose up in the second half, man, it's got me excited about next week for sure. So I want to just say thank you to everybody. Like I said, thanks to our sponsor, Old Southern Barbecue. Ryan, thank you for your time, man. It's good to have you back on. Jacob, Tim, as always, you guys are awesome. Everybody in the chat, you lit it up. I wish we could get to them all, but it's just the way it is, man. The channel's growing, and we're trying to do the best we can with that. But we do appreciate you hanging out with us. For those of you listening on the pod, thank you for making us a part of your day. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world, and go back, go.
The power sweep actually is the lead play in our offense.
Come to tackle, take the defensive end if he's over him. If he's not, you drive down the first man who is inside. Pull back and get him. Take the first man outside the offensive tackle. No one goes. You go right by them and field inside. If the YN has the linebacker taken out, that's inside. If the YN has the linebacker in, he comes all the way around. If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.